What's going on, everyone? I've got a quick video for you all today because I had a couple people ask about Immortal Pets, and well, pets are a pretty crucial part of progression in this game. Not only do some of the dungeons rely purely on pets, but also just in general bumping up some stats, various different defensive mechanisms, or CC. Pets can be a very critical part of the game. Now, when you're first starting out, you get access to a lot of really weaker pets, the commons, the uncommons, the rares. Because when you pull an egg here, you're going to get access to a select pool of pets. And when you do so, and you can see here, you're going to get a chance, if I go all the way back down to the lesser levels, you're going to get a chance of summoning a reasonably low rarity pet. All the way up to mythic and eventually immortal. So if you look at some of these uncommons and commons and rares, none of them are really worth using outside of the early game. The epics are also pretty weak. Sometimes people use Snowy, but it's not really that crazy. The freeze can be okay somewhat. The legendary pets, you have the little Ellie, which is pretty useful in the early game. And some people like a couple of the other ones. Monopoly can help increase your damage. Then you get to the mythic level. And this is where most people utilize the majority of their pets just because of how useful they are. You have the Flash, which is really good in PvP. You have the Unicorn, which is excellent increasing crit and attack. Then you have the Slime King, which I'm actually currently using. That's going to increase your combo chance and your combo counter, which is exceptionally powerful, right? And then you have the Immortal Pets, which at least what many people consider to be the best pet, Elsa, is classified as well as Freya, which is also one of the best pets in the game for a lot of different builds. And you have a couple of other immortal pets that are less talked about. The thing with these ones is, unlike the other pets, if you look at the summoning rate, well, not only are they very low, and as I get to level 15 here, you're going to see they're going to go up to 0.25% chance to hit, but these are not able to be summoned until you actually pick up the first copy. So unlike your mythics and your legendaries and all that, where you're going to be kind of just picking them as you go along, the immortal pets, you can only acquire them when you first unlock them. So one of the things that I get asked is, if we pop on over to the treasure, I think it's not the treasure team, the underwater adventure. I don't know why I thought of the treasure team for that moment. You have Susu as an option for a pet right now. It's an immortal pet. And as you can see, it's got this ability to deal fire damage equal to the character's attack, causing burn and poison, increasing the main character's fire, electric, and ice damage by 50%, stacking increasingly. This one's not horrible by any means. It's still a solid option. If I were to rank this, it would definitely be on the tier of like some legendary / mythic pets out there. But this one is oftentimes a diversion of resources, in that not only do you have to invest the resources to pick up the initial pet when you first start out using your event resources or your whatever resources that are able to unlock the pet, usually it is the event resources. Well, you also get this added to the pool of immortal pets that you can actually pull. So for an example right now, if I were to pull a 35 pull right here, you can see I'm going to get a selection of common, uncommon, rares, epics, and legendaries. Very unlikely for me to receive a mythic or higher pet, because as you can see, the chances of that are very, very low. So if I do one pull here, it's very unlikely for you all to see me get a mythic or immortal pet. And then you just take this and you look at this 0.2% immortal. Let's just go up to 0.25 because that's what I'm going to be unlocking soon. If you think about this, I have two immortal pets that I have right now, Elsa and Freya, which means I essentially have a 0.125% chance to pick up either Elsa or Freya. That's it. If I were to get another pet, those portions, that 0.25%, instead of being divided by 2, it would be divided by 3, which is what, 8.3333? So it would be 0.08% versus 0.125%, which would basically just reduce the overall chances of me unlocking more copies of Freya and Elsa, which are the critical immortal pets that I would want. So my general advice for people is, okay, Susu, how good is she really? Usually comparable to, and oftentimes weaker than, the Unicorn or the Slime King, depending on the build. Freya and Elsa are usually the immortal pets that you're looking for. And so you pick up those two. Those are the two that you're going to want to pick up multiple copies of. And then ignore all the other immortal pets. Even if you don't have them unlocked, don't unlock them, because it's going to dilute your immortal pool down further. And you don't want that. It's very similar if you pop over to the equipment up section and you look here how, yes, it's a 0.65% chance to get an S epic weapon, but each 6 of these pieces of gear divide up that 0.65% amongst themselves, which means it's actually a lot lower to receive the desirable one that you're looking for. And in this case, because we have only a single accessory, the accessory actually has a 0.185% chance. So it's even lower than that. And that just kind of applies to the same immortal pets that you're going to be unlocking as you go along. So it's quite important to, well, consider, are these pets worth it? But more importantly, consider, hey, should I be buying this? Even though it might be slightly better, I'm also going to get less upgrades for my other immortal pets that might really want those upgrades. And again, pet upgrades, do they matter a lot? In the grand scheme of the game, probably not. But the battle skill for a lot of these, like Elsa, for example, getting to the higher levels, especially level 40, 60, and eventually 80, are going to require extra copies. And so if you're not able to get Elsa or Freya up to the higher levels, well, it's going to slow down your actual advantages from these pets. I mean, take, for example, Freya. Instead of being at level 20, it's at level 1 right now, which I'm losing 0.5% skill crit rate and 2.5% skill damage on each stack, which could equate to an additional 1.5% skill crit rate and an additional 7.5% skill damage, which would be a nice bonus. And if I were to dilute the pool down even more, it's going to take me way longer to accumulate copies of those immortal pets. So it's just something to think about as you're going along, and considering, do I actually want to unlock this immortal pet? Is it going to provide a significant enough bonus for me to want it and dilute my pool down? The answer is almost always no, unless it's Freya or Elsa. And again, this is for me talking about the builds that I'm used to, which is like Sky Splitter, Reaper Staff, Whisper. If there are other builds out there that I'm not familiar with, or as familiar with, I should say, then you guys are free to let me know in the comment section down below. Really curious to hear your thoughts on this. Hopefully this answers some of the questions, and I'll see you all for the next one.